There was a time when she found herself in a season of discontentment, which she had feared would stretch out into eternity. Her whole life could be found within the borders of her small hometown, and she had agonized over the fear of sharing the same defining characteristics of the routinized simplicity of everyday small-town living. Because she was an idealist, a heart made primarily of passions that could rival the great dreamers, but she felt shackled to the familiar, making it hard to move past what was comfortable. She had an intimate acquaintance with every storefront, tree, and bench that lined the streets she drove every day. She knew what time every shop opened, the best time of the day to sit in silence at the park, and she even knew exactly how many steps it took to get from the coffee shop to the little restaurant she worked at the end of the street. These places held her memories, and if you looked carefully, you would find pieces of her on every street corner, in the branches of the trees, in the early morning stillness, and even in the bricks and concrete. The park benches knew her poetry, the trees knew her whispers of joy, and the street lights knew the sadness that often invaded her bones. This is where she knew herself. But in her eyes, the town borders hadn't offered her the chance to wander, to seek and find, to build something new, to be obedient in her calling, and she was afraid that comfort would starve her. But in what often seemed to be a life of stagnancy and predictability, she grew to see that she was already living in the miraculous. She had seen her identity as something merely littered with small-town experiences, but in a fit of revival, she came to see that she didn't have to cross borders to find the open spaces, to breathe mountain air or experience the depth of canyons. It was here, in this place, and these people, that she saw the beauty of God. She realized that she wasn't hidden in the bricks and concrete. She was a part of their structure. She was architecture. There was an emptiness here. Her life was already overflowing with all that she thought she was lacking. When we only see life in black and white, it will always be hard to see possibility. We accept the familiar as something confining, so much so that we forget to even look at it. It's because we don't expect to see beauty in the mundane, but it's often there where it is most abundant. This was her greatest revelation. There was fullness here. And so now, she knew it was her time, and this place had no more lessons for her, but this will always be where she found glory. She is here. Here is she.